In this video, we're going to do section 1.2, number 61. This problem says that the width of a rectangle, so the width, is 3 1/4 inches more than the length. So what does that say? 3 1/4 inches more than the length. That means that it is the length plus 3 1/4 inches. But then they also tell us what? That the length is 8.5 inches. So we know that this length they just told us, right, is 8.5 inches. So this is 8.5 inches plus 3 1/4 inches. So the funny thing is what? That we can find the width because they told us what the length is. So what is 8.5 plus 3 1/4? Well, the common denominator between this 2 and this 4 is 4. So we can think to ourselves, well, 2 out of 4 is the same as 1 out of 2. So we have 8 2/4 plus 3 1/4. 8 plus the 3 is 11, and 2/4 plus 1/4 is 3/4. Now, that's not what they want us to know, though, is it? They want us to know what is the perimeter. Now, we know that the formula for the perimeter of a rectangle is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. But what was the length? The length is this 8.5 inches. And what is the width? The width is this 11 3/4 inches. So what do we actually have here? Well, let's see. We have 2 times 8.5. Now 2 times 8.5 means that we have 8.5 twice. So 8.5 plus 8.5, which is, what is that going to be? Yes, 16 and 2 over 2. But that 16 and 2 over 2 is actually 16 plus 1, which is 17. Now we have to deal with this 11 3/4 plus 11 3/4, which is actually 11 plus 11, 22. 3/4 plus 3/4 is 6/4. But I know what some of you are thinking. You're thinking that 6/4 is the same as 3 over 2, so you reduced it by dividing and seeing that a 2 goes into the 6 and into the 4. Now, some of you probably think, well, 3 over 2 is not good because that's also 1.5. So if we add that all up, 17 plus 22 plus 1.5, we have 40.5 inches for our perimeter. And that is section 1.2, number 61.